Well, look at that. It says I have a perfect stream tonight. The perfect stream. It says I have the perfect stream. That's pretty awesome. Not always do you have the perfect stream, but we have it tonight. So this is it's the final countdown. Ba-da-dum-bum. This is my audio check. So anybody's out there with their ears on that want to chirp in to make sure the audio is all cool, this is your chance to chirp in. Once the show starts and there's no audio and you don't chirp in, then we go with no audio. I got myself a coffee right here, which is cool. I got a pen. I got some notes. I got everything in front of me. Everything's good to go. Got my lighting turned on. I got about 4 minutes before the show starts here. Um, Anybody who wants to join me tonight, you can. Just simply shoot me a message during the show, and I will send you a live link. And if you want to come on and you have something to say, we'll do it. So if you're listening to that and you want to come on the show, just send me a message in Facebook Messenger, and I'll reply to you with a live link. And all you need on your end is just a computer with a camera and a microphone, and we can grab you live if you're so inclined to do that. Have a little bit of space on tonight's show. Not much, but I have a little bit. I gotta holler out to my sound technician in the front room to see if the audio is working. Is the audio working in the front room? All right. Volume is good. 2 minutes and 50 seconds and counting. This is where you want to be going to get your drink. Whether you want to have a cold beverage or maybe a nice latte or a cappuccino or maybe just a coffee. I'm doing a half calf tonight, half calf coffee, um, because that's what I feel like having tonight, half calf. It's one of those days where I want something warm because it's cool out. Get yourself some nibs. If you were watching a movie, it would be let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and get ourselves some snacks. Yeah. You know, at a minute 57, you could actually still technically microwave yourself a hot dog. What can you make in a minute and 50 seconds? If you had to grab a snack and you only had a minute 50 to do it, what would you grab? Bag of chips, nibs, whoppers, carrot sticks, celery. How about some fresh Ontario peaches? Asparagus, deep fried fish, chicken, leftovers, sandwich. What can you do in a minute and 15 seconds? All right, enough from me. I'm going to get ready to roll this show. Just kidding. Still have 58 seconds left. We like to be extremely technical on this show, right down to the second.
You're listening to Espresso Shots Live. Tune in every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. for your digital caffeine.
It's a little too on the nose if you ask me. I mean,
No, it's going to be fine, and you look fabulous. Okay, here we go, and action.
Well, look at that. There you guys are. Welcome to Espresso Shots. My name is John, filming from my beautiful studio in downtown Westport, Ontario. If you're a first-time watcher to the show, welcome to Espresso Shots Live. If you're a returning viewer, well, welcome back to Espresso Shots Live. It is cool today. The last few days in the village of Westport have been cool. But I don't want to give all the weather away. We'll leave that for Happy McSunday later on in the show. We have a great show lined up for you tonight, as we always do. And tonight I'm asking if anybody actually wants to come on the show tonight live, send me a message on Facebook Messenger. I'll send you a link and I'll bring you on the show for a minute or two if you'd like. That I'm throwing that out there. Haven't done that yet, but I'm more than happy to try it tonight. So as I mentioned, we have a great guest on the show tonight. His name is John Pringle, and that is me. I am my own guest tonight, and I will be speaking about my own topics tonight. So aren't we all lucky to have me here? So without further ado, what's going on with you guys? What's new? What's not new? I actually have my comments running through my feed tonight. So the nice thing tonight is I can actually see any comments that are going on. So Jake Blake says she's just having a coffee. And I know that's true because I'm in the same household with the lady, my lovely wife, Cynthia, from Jake Lake. So Cynthia is having a coffee. Everybody give a big shout out to Cynthia in the front room with her coffee. Okay, so we got one viewer, Cynthia. That's always good. You don't want to start with too many viewers to the show. So last week I had mentioned in my intro that we were working with the village to possibly do a pumpkin event. And if you know anything about Cynthia and myself, Halloween and pumpkins are always a big part of our fall, and it's always something we look forward to. We've been doing pumpkin things in the village of Westport for quite a few years, going way back to Random Act of Pumpkins and Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Some of those events are on YouTube and you can kind of go take a peek at them. So what we always tried to do was to decorate the village of Westport up with pumpkins. And I believe it's in year 3 we topped out at about just over 2,300 pumpkins that illuminated the whole village, businesses and streets, and the whole village was just aglow with pumpkins. So always a great event. And I think it was the fourth year I said, I'm not doing it anymore. That's enough. It's too much. But then every year we come back, we do it again. And then we take a few years off, we do it again. And I always say, I'm not doing that again. That's way too much work. And and then we do it again. Well, 3 years ago, we did Light Up Lockwood. We decided that we would try to get 1,500 pumpkins was the number, to put around the trail on Lockwood Park and to light it up and to have a fun day of events. And we did it, and it was really spectacular. If anybody had gotten down to it and see the pumpkins along that trail in the evening time, it was fantastic. And that was on a Saturday night, and it was on the 29th of October. About a month ago, I was chatting with somebody, and they mentioned, Halloween is going to look different this year. Are we doing anything? Are we not doing anything? Well, we always do hot chocolate in front of our house, and we always do an adult formatted hot chocolate and give out candies and decorate the yard. And I hadn't really given it much thought with COVID-19. It's I just assumed, like everything else, it's canceled. Everything's canceled. But I don't think it should be canceled. I think there needs to be some sort of event happening for the kids, because for me growing up, Halloween, was an important holiday. Not even so much a holiday, but it's just such a random day where it's not really. I mean, yes, you decorate, you dress up, and you go trick or treating for sure. But there are so many great memories that come along with that, and it's a shame to think that maybe kids won't experience that this year, or they're going to miss it, or it's going to change. So we didn't want to let that happen. We wanted to kind of do something about it. So Cynthia and I got chatting a few weeks ago, said, hey, why don't we light up Lockwood Park again this year for Halloween? And the nice thing about this year is it actually falls Saturday, actually falls on Halloween. So the 31st of October is Saturday, which is perfect, absolutely perfect. So what the plan is right now is we are going to light up Lockwood Park with as many pumpkins as we can, and with a bunch of service clubs, and one in particular, the Lions Club. They always hand out candy on Halloween, normally in different locations around the village. This year, they're going to be handing out candy in the pavilion at Lockwood Park. So what will happen is you'll come down to Lockwood Park, you'll enter at the arena, and you'll walk around the trail, ending up at the pavilion where kids that are dressed up will receive a bag of candy. So if you're not comfortable with going door to door trick or treating, you have an option to come down, experience Halloween and all of the jack-o'-lanterns and all of the fun, and receive your bag of candy as well. So you have enough treats to make the night special. So that's what we are working on. And a big shout out today to the Village of Westport. We had a Zoom call this morning with Paul Schneider and Peter Evans to talk about how it was going to work. Because obviously, planning a pumpkin event is always challenging, and there's always a lot of work, and there's always a lot of logistics to it. And that's where you get together, have meetings, plan things out, so forth, so on, blah, blah, blah. Well, this year, the first meeting that we had was obviously with Zoom, and we'll probably have many more meetings with Zoom where we're organizing how this is going to work. The first priority for us, well, there's two priorities. First one is to have fun. The first one is to have fun. But the second priority is everybody's safety, and that we're following all of the guidelines that are in place. Now, as they stand today, we know what the guidelines are, but we don't know how they're going to change. We know that COVID-19 rates right now are on the rise again across the provinces of Canada. So we don't know what's going to happen. But we're going to be optimistic and say that everything is going to be cool and we're going to be able to pull it off and light the park up. So depending on how it's going to look, I can guarantee you that there will be pumpkins in the park of Lockwood, and there will be candy as well to be distributed. So we will, again, we're not going to give all the details away, all the specifics, but this is going to be a community event. It's not a fundraiser for anybody. It's not a business promotion piece for anybody. It's just a fun community event so the kids can enjoy one of the great holidays within the year, because there have been so many this summer that were kind of missed. I know we're coming into Thanksgiving, which will be some families getting together again, but that Halloween one is always special. So that's pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited about it. And again, with some great conversations with Paul and with Peter this morning about how we were going to do things. And so that's pretty awesome. And yes, do we need help? Paul says, well, how many volunteers do you have right now, John and Cynthia? I said, well, we have John and Cynthia. That's how we start every event, right? John and Cynthia. But we know there's a lot of great clubs, and the Lions Club, I've spoken with Paul Thorpe and briefly with Jim Scala. And so the Lions Club is going to be a big player, a big part of the event. And the other service clubs we want to talk to as well in the Village of Westport, such as the Legion, and maybe what's on Westport as well. We have a Zoom meeting with that group coming up next week, where we'll talk a bit about how that's going to play out. So if you want to get involved, we will need volunteers for different components at the park and on Saturday during the day. And all you really need to do if you're interested in volunteering is either send me a message, John Pringle, a message, or Cynthia a message. And probably the best way is is Facebook through Messenger, or you can email us. So if you want to email me, my email address is jp@cottagecoffee.com. And if you want to email Cynthia, I always forget what her email address is. I believe it's cp@jakebythelakeshop.com. And I'm not hearing any chitter in the background, so I think I must have it right. But again, the best way to reach us would probably be Messenger if you want to volunteer. So, anybody out there watching this right now excited at all about an event in Westport? And it may be one of the first events in Westport since this whole COVID-19 broke out. I mean, there's been things happening, and there's been music, and there's been all kinds of things, but there hasn't really been an event. So many events have been canceled, postponed, and changed. So we're really hoping that this is going to be a memorable event for everybody in the village of Westport. So that is pretty fantastic. I don't know if I missed anything on that event at all. I think I have the ability to play. No, I'm not going to bother doing that. If you want to see, maybe I'll put some links in this video on Vimeo when I'm done. There's some great YouTube videos that we did over the years with random acts 1, 2, and 3. And no, we got Jake's in there again. Oh, she's correcting me. So let's see what it is here. Well, she's put it into his Jake by the Lake. I can only see the back part of here. Why can't I see that? Anyway, so contact her through her email address or messenger. All right, who's out there tonight? Bob, are you out there tonight watching the show? I know you're always keen to let me know how the show was and how the guests were. Well, tonight I am my own guest. I'm a solo show, a one-man show tonight. I'm going to pull my audio down just a little bit here. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to move into my dark roast portion of the show. But I didn't want to overshadow the fun pumpkin event that's coming up, the Light Up Lockwood. And again, it's going to be pretty special. But let's get into, let me see if I can find my dark roast segment here. And let's. All right, espresso shots. Again, my tongue is all tied up tonight. I haven't had enough of this coffee. I'm gonna have another swig before I start my dark roast segment. And I'll give you a hint to what I'm talking about tonight. It's right over here. The CFL. Now, as you may know, and you probably do know, the CFL will not be in business this year. This will be the first year in over 100 years that the CFL Canadian Football League, hasn't played. So 9 Canadian teams that will not play this year. Now, the CFL did reach out to the federal government asking for funding. They asked for $30 million to help get the season off and running as a interest-free loan. And our government said, no, we will not do that. And I understand why they may have said that. But again, over 50% of the players on the CFL teams are all Canadian players. There's so many jobs and there's so many things that go along with the CFL franchise and sports that is such a loss to Canada to not have a season. It's really disappointing, and I know it's a real fan base where the fans kind of make the game, but it's a real bummer. So to not have a Grey Cup in Canada this year, I'm not a huge CFL follower. I watch the Grey Cup like everybody else. I'll watch some games if I have a chance. To go see a live game in Ottawa is great as well. But it's a real shame that the CFL can't pull it together this year, and it's a real shame that the government of the day can't see past some sort of compromise to help the CFL out. And I know there are some owners that are very wealthy in the CFL, and I know there are some teams that are owned municipally that aren't as wealthy. But there should be a solution that happens. It's just a crying shame that they can't do that. It's kind of agitating, and when our prime minister comes out today and says he's approving, what is the number here, 221 million, 93 million of that as a federal loan for another program that was announced today, and I'll let you research what that program is. And it's a business-related program, but the CFL is an important part of Canada, and it's an important part of the. It's just an important thing, man, and I'm really kind of PO'd that they couldn't. They're going to have a season this year. So, what are your thoughts? Do you care? Do you not care? The CFL tried to raise some money through their fan base, but they haven't been able to do that either. It's a really small. Not fan base, but a support base, right? So anyway, that's my dark roast tonight. CFL. Shame on the Canadian government for not kind of coming up with some solution and working with them. I don't know all the ins and outs to exactly what went on, but the fact that they couldn't pull that together, boo, boo, boo. And that's also my whine of the night as well. Slide on out of this here. Slide me back into my other beautiful shot here. There we go. Look at that, eh? So the only person I see following on Jake by the Lake's page is actually Cynthia. I don't see any other comments from anybody. So that now I'm just gonna sit here and not say anything. Actually, I'm kidding. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna roll our Happy McSunny. Is anybody out there happy to see the Happy McSunny, our chief meteorologist, the forecast? I'm pretty happy to see it. Let me just go see if we can find her here. As you know, this is always done live, so we want to make sure that we have it live for you guys.
Good Wednesday evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Happy McSunny, and I'm reporting to you live from the door to nowhere. We are in the Westport and the Rideau Lakes area, and the weather forecast for the next 3 days is going to be sunshine, a little bit of a chance of rain on Sunday, but otherwise it's going to be pretty good. As we head into fall, let's think about carving some pumpkins. Let's think about doing something fun for the kids for Halloween as they're all getting back to school. Back to you in the studio, John.
Excuse me, another awesome episode of Happy McSunny, brought to you by our local meteorologist, Happy McSunny. Cheers, Happy. Well, that's about all I have for you folks tonight. I don't really have much to talk about. I just wanted to talk briefly about the about Light Up Lockwood and the pumpkins. And if you've got anything going on and you want to let us know, I'm happy to talk to you about it. We do have some guests lined up for the next few weeks. So Cynthia says yes. I'm not sure what she's saying yes to, but that's good. Yes to something. Yes to, who knows, right? Anyway, some other fun news. If my older brother Fred is watching, I know that he's about ready to kind of make tracks to Ontario. He's moving to the metropolis of Westport here, so there'll be two Pringles on the streets of the village of Westport soon enough, probably by the end of September. You'll see somebody who looks just like me walking around, but it won't be me. So that's pretty fun. So looking forward to seeing Fred and Ramona here in the village of Westport. And I was going to tell you, I took a drive downtown to grab a coffee before the show because my espresso machine is on the fritz, if you can believe that. It's not working right now. So I've had to get my coffee from the shop every day, which is fine. But anyway, on the way down there, it was so quiet tonight in the village. I mean, the patios are all kind of empty, and it's got that real fall feel in the air. Leaves are starting to hit the ground already here in the village of Westport. So it's definitely, it changed so fast. It went from summer a week and a half ago and to right into fall, and it's got that cool feel to the air. And it's I love the fall, but it can be a bittersweet time because you're happy to see the fall, but you're sad to see the summer go away. And I do want to remind everybody, as COVID-19 numbers start to rise again in Canada, I know we all had a great summer, and we let our guards down more than we should have, and we got out and we socialized with more people than normally we may have or we should have. But we have to make sure we remain diligent over the next few weeks to make sure that with the return to school, well, with the kids going back to school, that goes off without a hitch in Ontario, and we don't end up with things shutting down. In BC right now, we have they've decided to shut down banquet halls along with nightclubs, and again, if things kind of get progressively worse in Ontario, we could be looking at reverting back to where we were back in the springtime. And from a business owner point of view, I don't want to go there. It was a pretty tough spring. We managed to get through the summer. Hopefully we can kind of keep sailing along into the fall time, but it really is going to depend on how well everybody works together in the community and in all communities and in Canada and everywhere. So do your part. Don't be a mask hole. I know some people don't want to wear masks. They want to kind of complain and argue and bicker about it. You've got to do it. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. And I wish it wasn't the way it is, but it is the way it is. So we want to make sure we get through this next few weeks and next few months, and we don't want to get locked down again. It was a tough lockdown already. So anyway, folks, that's my show for tonight. Like I said, I don't have a lot to talk about. It's been a busy few weeks for Cynthia and I, and we've been busy kind of with lighting up Lockwood. So we're busy with kind of getting all the plans organized for that. So again, if you want to get involved with that, let us know. We'll probably be reaching out to you anyway and asking for your help and support. Should be a great event. So anyway, peace, love, and coffee. Tune in next week. And I wanted to also give a shout out to Casey Ferguson from the Casey Ferguson Show. He managed to pull off a third episode of the Frothy Coffee Sessions for the coffee house. So if anybody doesn't know what that is, we have basically some live programming for radio for the cafe. So unique to us, episode 1, episode 2, and episode 3. And eventually they will be made available for you guys to listen to at home if you like. But shout out to the Casey Ferguson Show for getting that done. I know he worked really hard. And October is a big time of the year for him as well. He's a big Halloween guy, and he's working on some different shows with a few different stations. One of them is 108, Q108, smaller radio station that they do a Halloween special. And check out his channel. Go to the Casey Ferguson Show, and there's a lot of great episodes in there. And I believe I even have, if you go to What's on Westport, I think I might even have some Halloween stuff that we did last year together with Casey. So anyway, shout out to Casey if you're watching tonight. That wraps it up. That's about all there is to say. There's not much more going on in the village of Westport. It is Wednesday night, so I believe Sean McCullough is at the Cove doing wings and things with wings and things on wings and all that kind of stuff. But I think that's about all that's going on in the village of Westport. So peace, love, coffee. Stay tuned, and we'll have a guest next week for you, guaranteed. And I think we're going to leave tonight with... What are we going to leave tonight with? What are we going to leave tonight with? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to do this. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, well, what the heck? Who cares, right? Can I do this? No, I guess I can't. Oh well, I cannot do it. Anyway, I'm just killing time now. I'm just going to sit here and have my coffee. So what happens when you get busy and you don't put enough programming time into the show? You run out of content. Anyway, let's leave it there. Talk to you guys next week. Peace, love, and coffee.